Welcome back, fellow degenerate watch addicts. I'm showing off my Steinhart Ocean GMT today. To be clear, this is the special edition made exclusively for the Olko Watch Boutique, which is a store based out of Germany. There is a similar model from Steinhart that you can get at any other store. However, I believe that is a bit larger and with a slightly different color scheme on the dial. I know I'm late to the party on this one. I usually am. There's too many watches to wear and not enough money to buy them all, so it takes me some time to get to all of them. But with that being said, I think it's good for smaller channels like mine to revisit watches like this to give the audience an updated report on whether or not a watch has surpassed its initial hype. In regards to this watch, I can say that it has absolutely surpassed it. I've been wearing this watch for 2 months now, and I can confidently say that I love almost everything about it. From top to bottom, it's undeniably a class watch and avoids that gimmicky Homage feeling commonly attached to many other watches. I'm not against Homages at all, but not all Homages are made equal, and this one is up there at the top. This is also my very first Steinhart watch, and I'm a big fan of this company now. At around $550 from the Olko store, I say this watch solidifies itself as one of the better value watches in today's market. I'm not saying that it's cheap, but compared to other offerings from other brands, it is relatively a great value for everything you're getting. Here are the dimensions, which I think are perfect. It's large enough to display the dial effectively and thin enough to remain comfortable all day. The 39mm diameter is compact enough to stay within the boundaries of my wrist, while the case height looks sharp and professional. It's great to wear all day long, really for any wrist size. For a general overview, the Olko Steinhart is powered by a Sellita SW330 GMT movement. It has a sapphire crystal, a screw-down crown, a screw-down caseback, and has a water resistance rating of 300 meters. Here is the Lumeshot, which features the beautiful shade of BGW9. It glows strong and glows long, so no complaints here. The dial remains overall faithful to the original Rolex style, but I appreciate that this Olko version didn't go overboard with the vintage effect. It has the vintage style, but looks new and modern at the same time. There's a date cyclops, which I think looks great on this style. Usually I'm not a fan of them, but in this case I find that it works and adds to the visual experience. One nitpicky thing that I don't like are the markers in between the normal 12-hour indices. I noticed that while I'm out and about, they make it slightly more difficult to identify what time it is because it takes my eyes a second to figure out which marker to look at. Obviously this isn't a deal breaker, just something I wanted to point out. Moving on to the crown, it functions just fine with a coined edge, precise threading, and smooth action. It's nothing to write home about, but exactly what you would expect from a watch at this price point with a Sellita movement. It looks clean with the Steinhart logo embossed on the head, which further shows that this watch is not trying to be anything other than a Steinhart. For the caseback, I like what they did here. On any watch, the caseback is a blank canvas to have some real fun while leaving some brand identity on the watch. Steinhart does an excellent job with that here. There's nothing crazy going on, but they add on so much character with the Ocean logo. It's things like this that push Homage watches over the edge to get rid of that copycat feeling that may turn some people off. The bracelet is your standard 3-link oyster style bracelet, but it's finished really well. The surfaces are smooth and feel of high quality against the wrist. The deploying clasp is pretty basic and not ideal for me, but it functions fine. I hope that in future releases they upgrade it to a dual push button style. Overall, the fit and finishing of this watch is outstanding. It could easily be double in price, and I think that would still make sense. The silver tone brushed bezel is truly the piece de resistance here and ties all the other aspects of the watch together. It has a straightforward appearance that makes it an excellent daily tool watch while remaining stylish with its own subtle elegance. In a market overly saturated with Homage brands, I've got to say that at least in my experience, this is one of the best and I thoroughly enjoy it. The merits of this watch are proven through its own sales, as it pretty much stays out of stock year-round. With that being said, you can still find these popping up for sale from time to time in various watch forums, so if you ever get a chance to own one, you've got my wholehearted recommendation to do so. That's it for now. Stay classy. I sure as hell won't.